Welcome to the X Corner. Still here, adding a little mutation to the Superherocrew. I'll be covering the X comics for the week of May 9th, 2018. This week we have 4 comics: Domino number 2, Hunt for Wolverine, Adamantium Agenda number 1, Old Man Logan number 39, and X-Men Blue number 27. Spoilers, of course. We'll start with Domino number 2. The writer is Gail Simone, and the penciler is David Baldion. So when we last left Domino, she was thrown out her penthouse window, and her luck powers had forsaken her. Turns out the old man's assistant, Topaz, has the ability to manipulate powers, and they turn Domino's luck power back on in the nick of time. Spider-Man swoops in and saves her. She is shaken, but is consoled by her friends Outlaw and Diamondback. The only problem is that they're the only ones who knew about the job Topaz set them up at, so she begins to suspect them, even against her hopes. She recruits Amadeus Cho to join the team on their next mission as an outsider backup. The next mission is on a riverboat casino where the owner thinks he's going to be attacked. It turns out to be an inside job, which would be easy for the team to beat, but Domino's luck powers are on the fritz and everyone seems to have the luck. Domino proves she doesn't need the luck to still kick some butt, but in victory, the old man and Topaz show up. He explains that every time something good happens to Domino, he ages, but every time something bad happens, he gets life back. She thinks he's going to kill her, but he instead blows up Domino's friends. Gail Simone writes a dense book. We get cameos, friendship, action, and intrigue in a short 20-page book. I love Domino's narration as she tries to wrestle with everything happening to her. It adds so much more than if we just saw the action taking place. She is such a real character with hopes and fears, which sadly we don't get much in a superheroine these days. Domino keeps trying to prove to herself that she doesn't need her powers, and that she isn't just her luck. When she shows off, the first time against some muggers in the park whom she manhandles, and then against the casino robbers, she does prove her skills, but deep down she is still rattled. Really good writing, and the art is also great. So much emotion in the faces, and beautiful women without being seedy in any way. Not cheesecake at all. That's really hard to do, but David Baldion pulls it off. I'm really loving this series so far, as you can tell, and it's also why I dropped Weapon X, with such a subpar version of Domino in it. It also shows that any character can be great with the right writer. 9 out of 10. Then there's Hunt for Wolverine, Adamantium Agenda number 1. The writer is Tom Taylor and the penciler is R.B. Silva. So we start this miniseries with a flashback to Wolverine on the Avengers, where he explodes a bomb to save all the others. So now they feel obligated to find his body. Iron Man finds out there's going to be a sale of an entire genetic code on the black market, and he assumes it's Logan's. He assembles Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones for some covert work. The sale is on a submarine in the Pacific, but it's not Logan's DNA. It's the DNA of Jessica and Luke's daughter. I'd like to call this comic Coincidence Corner. So the flashback has a device that pretty much only Wolverine can defeat, since for one convoluted reason after another, all the other Avengers can't do it. The writer even references the fact that the whole thing is way too elaborate. Then there's the big coincidence at the end. So the only reason Luke and Jessica are there is because Tony assumed the sale was of Logan's DNA. Somehow, it's the DNA of the daughter of 2 of the heroes who just happened to show up. I like Tom Taylor as a writer. He killed it on Phoenix's Return, but here it just feels like he was given 4 characters and told to write something somewhat connected to the Hunt for Wolverine. Out of the 4 minis, this was the one I was least interested in, and so far it's living up to my expectation. The art too was very generic. Nothing special at all. I never read Wolverine and the Avengers, and other than Spider-Man, I only care about the heroes because of their movies and TV shows. And not even that for Jessica Jones. I will stick through it, and maybe once I realize it's only tangentially related to the concept, I might find some enjoyment in it. But not yet. 6 out of 10. Then there's Old Man Logan 39. The writer is Ed Brisson, and the penciler is Ibrahim Robertson. Old Man Logan has an appointment with his doctor. It just happens his doctor is Celia Reyes, the resident doctor at the X-Mansion. He meets up with his old students, and Glob, who has see-through skin and looks like a jello monster, has a date. Logan finds out he's dying, and Glob goes on his date. Unfortunately, the Purifiers have kidnapped Glob's date, and are planning to use Glob to attack the school by turning him into a bomb. Needless to say, I was sold once they reintroduced the students from Wolverine and the X-Men. Them happy to see their old teacher and telling about what's been going on was great. Logan getting his death sentence from the doctor was tough, but interspersing with Glob getting ready for his date lightened it a bit. I was so afraid that the whole date was just a setup, but at least Sasha, the purple mutant in love with Glob, is real. Unfortunately, Glob is now a suicide bomber, but you take the good with the bad. These final days with Old Man Logan are going to be tough. But with the OG Wolverine coming back, we could see this coming a mile away. It's now a treatise on death, saying goodbye, and loss, and I'm sure the final issue will be a tearjerker. This one was a solid one though, so I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Lastly, we have X-Men Blue number 27. The writer's Cullen Bunn and the penciler's Arcus Toe. The X-Men defeat the Mothermind mutants and the Ultimate Universe villains pretty easily, but it was all to get Magneto alone so that he could be assassinated. Magneto fights off his attackers, but is forced to kill the mutants he was trying to help, to make his escape to a teleporter. Meanwhile, the X-Men have found the bad guy's lair, and teleported there thanks to Bloodstorm Draculaing the bad guy's teleporter. They get swarmed by Sentinels, and just after defeating them, they are beaten by the big bads themselves. Lorna faces off against Havoc and tries to appeal to his true nature, but he says that this is the true him, and he imprisons the X-Men. Also in the middle of this whole thing, we do get a few pages of the young original X-Men. Beast gets the ship going again, and Venom gives Scott the worst pep talk ever. Some good fights here, and seeing how evil Havoc has become is interesting. Emma will be the key to winning for sure. She's barely tolerating the situation. A bit of a middle issue with a lot of fighting, but still pretty good. Amazingly, the best scene was Venom telling Scott to give up hope for Jean, and to turn that into rage to get revenge. There's going to be a crossover coming soon dealing with the problem of the time-displaced X-Men, so we'll see where that goes, and hopefully not reading Venomized won't bite me in the butt. Unfortunately, not more to say here, really. I noticed that the fight scenes, while technically good, just don't interest me anymore. It's the plot and character development that's much more interesting to me. The tease of Havoc reverting back good is tantalizingly close, and they better not be yanking my chain. Anyway, I'll give this one a 7. That's pretty low for an X-book lately. So that's another week. I wish X-Men Blue had given me a bit more, but I've been spoiled lately. Old Man Logan supplied the fanboy love this week anyways. Man, I miss Wolverine and the X-Men. Domino is solid, of course, and the Adamantium agenda, which the name makes no sense thinking about it, was a little low, but we'll see where it goes. With 4 issues, I can't see it going much more in a different direction, but maybe this is all just a swerve. Who knows? Hopefully next week we'll be lit. Until then, bye-bye.